Welcome to Oilers Nation Everyday with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
If nobody noticed 6 Czech players on the ice, I wonder if they'd notice 9 Tylers on the screen for the lead. Let's get into it with the lead. You weren't sitting here when we did our dry run. Your reaction is perfect.
Oh, that was so... I did not see that coming. Whoa.
Woo. Yeah, you did so good. What? Welcome into Oilers Nation Every Day. We are live from the Sports Closet studio.
Damn.
Check them out online, sportscloset.ca. Also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary. At Bet365. Tyler and Liam with you. Plenty to get to on the show today, Liam, because we got... You just think that lead's good.
Mount
Rushmore of leads?
That's got to be up there. It's got to be up there.
I prepped that 5 minutes before we went.
Which makes it so much
effort.
better,
Yeah.
almost, I would say. God,
It all
that
came
was
together
good.
right at the end.
Our best ideas come moments before. Mm-hmm. Moments.
We're going to be doing... we have the gold medal game between Canada and USA up on the screen. So... Oh, I thought you had something to say there.
Oh, it's something in my eye.
Second period is just about to start. Canada's got a penalty to kill off here. But we'll be keeping our eyes on that one as we work our way throughout the show. And again, hopefully give you guys some live reactions and whatnot. I'm assuming a lot of you kind of have it on your second screen as you watch this show as well. DJ Bean's going to join us in the second intermission of this hockey game. So that's our first guest. And then our second guest, we're going to welcome back former NHLer David Schlemko to the program. Enjoyed having him on the first time. And we're going to have him swing by and talk a little bit about Paul Coffey's return. And we'll pick his brain a little bit on the Olympics and the blue line for Canada and all that stuff.
I was on the big program with David yesterday. And I guess I can expand on that idea.
Yeah.
He was driving in to the station during the first period, so I was telling him about the game. Mm-hmm. It was quite good.
Are they going to score here? Someone downstairs just yelled, "Scores!"
Damn.
Shorthanded.
Well,
1-0 Canada.
This is not good.
That deserves a celebratory sip of my Coca-Cola.
And one of my coffee with no milk.
Let's go. You see the smile in the penalty box? A short-handed goal.
God, we had to. Can we speed this up? I can't believe. They're on cable.
Well, they're on cable, so we're hooped because we're watching it from behind.
Liam,
but-
do you want to tell the folks about where your money is this afternoon?
No. We couldn't do Liam that dirty, could we?
I
think it was a sharp bet. I'll give you that.
Look, throughout my entire tenure at Oilers Nation,
Yeah.
the pros have always told me to separate my fandom. Now, if I want to focus more on the Edmonton Oilers and be a real journalist in their eyes, I'm very real, I'm here, then I need to separate my fandom. So I just did that today.
And you saw value on Team USA's puck line.
Yeah.
And you took it.
And I took it. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Unless I lose, then that's the bad part.
Yeah, well, it's not looking great for your bet. I'd say take the cash out, but it won't be worth much because Canada, in stunning fashion, takes a lead early in the second period. 1-0 as they go for gold at the Milano Cortina games. We're keeping our eyes on this throughout the show.
This would be
a big upset.
A more significant upset than you would assume on paper.
Yeah, then on the surface.
Yeah, because the U.S. has just smoked him all the time.
Yep.
1-0.
Cheeks Clap says, emotional hedge. Bet on the team you don't want to win. Lost money yesterday, but Canada won. Bet on USA now, and if they win, I win. If they lose, Canada wins. I do know there are people who like to do that. I can never bring myself to do that because I'm a moron, and I believe what I bet on has some sort of impact on the game. It's why before Jay's playoff games, when there was like 7 minutes till first pitch, I would just be stress betting. I'd be like, I got to throw a couple more home run picks down here, all this stuff. So
it's a great goal. That's a really good finish. Who was that? O'Neill?
O'Neill. Wow, look at that celebration in the penalty box. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to keep our eyes on this hockey game. We're going to do our best to stay dialed into a whole bunch of other things to actually give you guys a quality program today.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots to get to with both David Schlemko and DJ Bean as our two guests today. Can I update the people on one thing here?
Please.
Kevin said, Tyler, did you get your goalie last night?
Oh, yeah.
And I did. Shout out to, so this is the way the day unfolded. I had no goalies. Could not find one. I had put out a call on Twitter, on Instagram, on the show. Couldn't find one. Brandon Douglas, the Duke.
The Duke of Delburn.
The Duke of Delburn on Sports 1440. Produces
what a
and co-hosts the Kevin Carrier show.
Yeah.
He texted me and he was like, I can play if you want me to. And I was like, perfect. I always thought he was a skater, like a D-man. Turns out he is a goalie, apparently. I went, did my little pre-scout, looked at his goaltending numbers on the CCRHL website, and I was like, all right, he's decent. Okay. Plays a couple divs lower, but I'm like, I don't have another option, so you're in.
Yes.
I then got an Instagram message from a mutual friend.
An old friend
who used to play like Junior B and was really damn good in Junior B.
In Toronto. Didn't he play Junior B in Toronto?
No, he played in Edmonton.
Oh, he's just a Leafs fan.
So I was like, oh, damn, this guy can play now. After he messages me, a couple hours go by, and we had 11 skaters to begin with. Two guys bail at the last second. So it's 5 o'clock, and we're down to 9 skaters now.
Damn.
So then an idea jumps in my head. I'm like, I can get the Junior B goalie still, and I can ask Brandon if he wants to come play as a defenseman, and then we have 10 skaters, which is kind of the number you want, and we have our goalie. Long story short, 4-0 win for the Chiefs last
Unreal.
night. 36 save shutout for our call-up goalie. It was absolutely electric. It was fun to have a couple of ringers. Brandon Douglas is a hell of a hockey player as well. So, yeah, thank you to everybody who reached out, because there were a few of you who DM'd me on Instagram and said you'd come play too. Eventually found my goalie, got a win. Beers tasted awesome. Slept like a baby.
Kicking and screaming all night.
Yeah. And now back to stuff that you all actually care about. Let's talk a little bit more, Liam, about some stuff that came out of the Canada game yesterday. First up, lineup notes. Sam Bennett revealed that he has an illness, and that is why he did not play in the game yesterday. I feel like if this was one of those things where, like, you know, how do I want to phrase this? Going into the next game, if Sidney Crosby's not available, if Sam Bennett is still kind of sick, I bet you he plays. There was a clip of Nathan MacKinnon vomiting on the bench that we didn't really talk about.
I didn't see this clip at all.
Yeah, he just like yaks.
Is it because he's sick too? Are they just all sick? Is this why this lineup felt a little bit underwhelming yesterday?
I think that's a possibility. If something's, I mean, we do know the norovirus is kind of working its way through the team and all that. Yeah. So like Nathan MacKinnon, like if you have it, I think the word is that you kind of struggle to keep things down.
Gotcha.
So it makes sense if Nathan MacKinnon like took a big swig of Gatorade and then like 3 minutes later on the bench was like, well, that ain't sticking, and just yacked. So I think there might be something ripping through this Canadian team, but with Sidney Crosby out, they lose their extra forward. And again, we don't know for sure if Sid's out. There were 2 tweets. First off, Elliot Friedman saying that neither MacKinnon or Crosby skated this morning. That's not entirely surprising.
All things considered,
yeah. Josh Yohe, who covers the Penguins out in Pittsburgh, he had a tweet.
I thought he was a player. I was like, who is that?
He covers the Pittsburgh Penguins for... it doesn't say who, but he is a Penguins beat writer. I've talked to him in the past.
Independent journalist.
Yeah. He said, very much in line with what John Cooper said today, a source of mine says that it's, quote, iffy that Crosby will play tomorrow or Sunday, but that he very much desires to play. That last part, obviously not surprising. The fact that it's iffy and they just haven't killed the storyline and said, hey, unfortunately, it's MCL and he's done. I take them at their word for that. I don't think they're playing games. I don't think they're doing anything where they're trying to like mess with the USA or Finland and be like, oh, he might be back. He might be back. I think if it was legitimate and he couldn't play, they would come out and tell us what a save de bien.
Huge save.
I think they would come out and tell us. So I actually do read it as encouraging that no one's ruling him out yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too. And I think it also comes with the sign of respect to Crosby to be like, let's let him tell us if he's going to play or not.
Yeah.
And hopefully Canada can obviously get through the Finns first and then face whoever it is in the final. But yeah, if Crosby sits there, she just missed the net. If Crosby sits there and is like, no, I'm playing, at least you have 12 other forwards ahead of him. There was also the quotes yesterday of the players saying during the second intermission, like Crosby came in and spoke to them. I don't know if he left necessarily, but like he stood up and spoke, and John Cooper said, I believe he said, don't let this be Crosby's last Olympic game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the guys have a little bit more to rally behind now in a way, too, of what Crosby getting him one last game. I doubt he plays tomorrow. I do.
Doubt it, too. I just think you probably don't want to risk anything. And, again, they should be able to beat Finland without him. They have a lineup full of great players. Here's a look. No. I want to show you another clip. And, obviously, we can't put it on the show because the IOC will come after us. But this is Nathan MacKinnon. Carter Hutton sent this to me. And if you guys want to go, it's with 9 minutes left in overtime. If you want to go watch the replay of the game later to get what I'm talking about, Nathan MacKinnon's final shift in overtime. Watch how he skates here. After he has that little collision with his knee, he gets up funny, hunches over, gets the puck, and he just immediately is going to wait for someone to come get it. And he gingerly goes off the ice for a change.
He also didn't even turn to go right behind the net.
Watch right here. Ooh.
Caught the inside of his knee.
And we think it's his knee that was bugging him before. So there is some legitimate concern here, I think, with Nathan MacKinnon. So
you're a better skater than me. I just try and skate in straight lines. When he gets the puck back and he goes behind the goal line, if he was to turn, that would have been his right knee that was hurt. And I don't think he turns on his right knee. I think he just kind of stops, essentially.
Man, even the way his head goes is like such a I think I did something.
Yeah, it's not a good one. Am I wrong?
No, he kind of turns both ways, but he doesn't take a stride.
No, it's nothing hard anyway.
He glides.
It's too bad. I mean, it's clear something from that France game was bothering him anyway, if that was his knee or whatever. Hopefully a couple of days here can help him out.
So here's kind of my flow chart of thoughts, if you will.
Okay.
McDavid, Celebrini, and MacKinnon is the best combination of players that John Cooper could possibly put together. Correct?
Correct.
And Nick Suzuki did a good job filling in there. But if Sid can't go, is it feasible to run McDavid, Celebrini, and MacKinnon together for a full hockey game? Or do you need to move Nathan MacKinnon away from those two to try deepen your lineup? And the thinking would be you need to try getting Nate driving his own line.
Well, how about this idea instead? How about it's not MacKinnon that drives his own line, it's just Celebrini.
And you move him off away from McDavid?
I would put, if he's banged up and he just needs that extra push, then, I mean, you're asking the second best player in the world to go and play with the best player in the world. Banged up or not, he should still be able to perform. And I think Celebrini's playing so well right now that people are saying he's getting points because of McDavid. Of course, it's working both ways. They're playing very well together. Yeah, I think Celebrini is proven on San Jose all season that it doesn't really matter who he plays with. He can be his own line. So if all of a sudden you have to move away from what would be McDavid, MacKinnon, Crosby,
and Celebrini, you mean?
No. That is your three centers.
Yeah.
But then you revert to McDavid, Celebrini, Suzuki. Push Sam Bennett up the lineup a little bit. Have maybe you put Bohova up there. I don't know what you want to do. Either way, Canada still has their two best players in Celebrini and McDavid going, and they're probably our third best player in Suzuki. Who was playing the other day? Sorry.
Are you a little bit nervous? And hey, this goes Connor McDavid, wildly more productive in these winter games than he was at the Four Nations a year ago.
Way more, yeah.
Do you want to risk messing that up? What a save, Davian.
You can always go back.
You can, and that's a good point. I would be, because that was the next part of my flow chart of thoughts, is okay, it's not feasible to run those three as a line because you need to deepen and strengthen your lineup and get some guys who are true drivers everywhere else.
Yeah.
I'd also like to add in there, though, it's not like this is the Edmonton Oilers. They have a deep lineup. I think you can afford to go your three top dogs up top and then look at the rest of those names. Those are all play drivers. I'd like to triple up.
And that's a good point, too. It's not like they have a bunch of schlubs. Yeah. And, oh, man, Canada almost made it 2-0 again there. They don't have a bunch of schlubs, and that's totally fair. The second part of it was well, hold on. Nate MacKinnon hasn't been at his best, and I think it's probably fair at this point to say it's because of injury.
Yep.
He's not the bulldog or bowling ball gumming down the hill at you kind of player that he usually is with Colorado. If his injury is so bad that he's incapable of being that player, then maybe you do need to discuss that. Mm-hmm. But then again, I worry about not giving Connor McDavid help, and you're kind of back to where you were a year ago, which you could say is just not something you planned on because, again, the depth has kind of withered away with injuries here to an extent. But Yeah, the fart says this is why we should have had Hyman in over Jarvis. I mean, that's also another pretty interesting thought in all of this, right? Is like if Zach Hyman was your 13th forward right now, instead of a Bennett or a Jarvis, how much easier is your decision? You're going Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman together. You're going Nathan MacKinnon and Macklin Celebrini together. And you have two dynamic duos that you know will work well together. Tom Wilson, for as good as I think he's been, had moments last game where he kind of looked lost in the offensive zone.
I would change things up quite drastically, actually.
You would?
Now that my ideas are flowing to my flow chart.
Yeah, flow chart, flow state. Let's go.
So I'm going 4 centers being McDavid, Celebrini. Actually, yes, McDavid, Celebrini, Suzuki, Horvat are my 4 centermen. First line, throwing a real curveball right away. Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart with McDavid.
Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart.
Yeah.
Two guys who I think you could probably make the argument when they've played have been Canada's 2 worst forwards.
But you could also make the argument of watching them in the playoffs being like, oh, they're 2 of the best playoff performers along with McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah, yeah.
The second line will be MacKinnon, Celebrini. And then I will put on Hagel. Sure, Hagel can stay up there too. Third line, Marner, Suzuki, Stone. Keep it the same. And then I guess it would be Marchand, Horvat, and Wilson. That's still an awesome lineup.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've just like, Sam Reinhart should be playing better. There's no doubt about it.
Needs to be, yeah.
But, like, you put him out there and be like, hey, man, like, you're a 50-goal scorer.
Play like it.
You need to get out there and get going. And, I mean, how many minutes what's his average time on ice? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes these guys, I don't want to disrespect Bo Horvat, but, like, it's easier for Bo Horvat to play 10 minutes and an impact on the game than Sam Reinhart, who probably needs to play 18+. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he needs the opportunities.
Sam Reinhart last game, just to give you the numbers, played .937. More than a few forwards, a lot of that power play related. 303 in the first, 415 in the second, 219 in the third when they were losing. Which maybe, not to fully squash your point, that might say something about how the coaching staff views him. Very similar to Kyle Connor in the U.S., who we look at him and we're like, hello, U.S., you need scoring, play Kyle.
What does Seth Jarvis play? So I guess based off the time on ice there, who would you suspect is the guy that comes up?
So Jarvis played 11:20, including 4:02 in the third and 4:43 in the second. So he played way more in the second and third than he did in the first. That's interesting. Brad Marchand was 7:13. I can't imagine he's a candidate to move up. Bo Horvat, 12:51, and found a way to have 4 shots on goal.
That's what I mean. Like, he's being impactful.
Yeah, like, could you do a Bo Horvat, Connor McDavid thing?
I would go back to just my point of, like, he's playing well in the minutes you're giving him. Mm-hmm. I think you need someone in those minutes that's going to be impactful. Mm-hmm. So, like, if it's him and Seth Jarvis, for example.
You know, Connor McDavid was their best centerman last game at winning faceoffs.
What was he, like 60%?
Connor McDavid was, they do plus minus on here, not percentage. So Connor McDavid was +4. He was 8-4 in the dot. Suzuki was -3. MacKinnon was -3. Crosby was +2, left the game. Reinhart was -2. Horvat was -1. Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby were the only 2 centermen who won more draws than they lost.
Huh.
That is interesting.
That is interesting.
Which, again, to the MacKinnon thing, if he's not winning draws and he's not skating well, maybe we have to view this lineup as
get him on the wing.
He's a winger.
Yeah.
He is not a candidate to play center.
Which is fine.
Yeah, and Macklin Celebrini did not take a face-off last game.
Maybe you put a Sam Bennett on that wing. If hypothetically you were having Celebrini as a center, and you have maybe MacKinnon and Wilson, I don't know what Wilson was his name, Bennett on the side, just in case like face-offs come up, you don't trust him to win them, maybe you can get one of those guys in. I don't know. I do think, and I understand what we're all talking about here, but like Canada should have guys who can step up and play for them.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking like, damn, hopefully Kapanen can play well in an extra couple of minutes tonight. We're talking about Sam Reinhart, Mark Stone, Nick Suzuki, all on pace of 90-plus points this year. Tom Wilson, as average as he's been, leads the Washington Capitals in points.
The only forwards, excluding Crosby, obviously, who got hurt, the only forward who played less time on ice last game than Tom Wilson was Brad Marchand.
I don't think Marchand would have been in the lineup if Bennett was healthy.
I think it was one of those things where like Bennett was maybe like 80%, and they just kind of said like,
Maybe.
you could play. The gap between you and Marchand is so close. They maybe wanted to give Marchand a shot at redemption, because remember, they said coming right out of the prelims that Brad Marchand is playing in the quarters.
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah.
I missed that.
So anyways, it's interesting that Wilson only played 1:43 in the third period.
Interesting. The only game he's looked good in is France. Really?
Yeah, and he made his noise and whatever, but he took that high sticking penalty last game, and I was like, that's the danger of playing Tom Wilson, is like he gets almost like hyperactive and too focused on trying to provide energy, and he runs around and he does dumb shit sometimes. And it's not like I don't even mean that as that much of like a knock on him.
It's just his game.
It's just who he is.
Nathan MacKinnon does dumb shit all the time.
Yeah, he does. But at least with Nate, you're getting the...
Yeah, there's the impact of him
Nate
scoring goals.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think Tom Wilson's maybe fallen out of favor a little bit here. MacKinnon's got to be viewed as a winger. Do you think you need another play driver? Maybe they don't think they need another play driver, and maybe they will just keep the big three together and say Nate's a winger, and we have no interest in touching McDavid and Celebrini because we finally have someone who's playing well with Connor, and they're so productive. Like, to beat Finland, how many goals do you think you need? You would hope you only, because they've struggled to score in this tournament, you would hope you only need three to beat Finland. Do you not have maybe a point of sitting there being like, power play's going to get one, and we know MacKinnon and McDavid will get one at 5-on-5?
There's two.
There's two.
Someone else chip in.
And that, to be fair, is that not exactly what we saw last game? It was power play, ding, McDavid to Celebrini, ding, someone else get one, and someone else did. Like, Nick Suzuki deserves full marks for the way he played. So, like, maybe you do just run a second line that's Suzuki. I would love to see more Horvat, and I think Brandon Hagel. I mean, they clearly like him. He played a ton last game. Maybe you can just run those three together, and you're like, you know what? That's a good enough second line, and then we're going to have Marner, Stone, and Bennett, or whoever.
I do think this Canadian team is, as much as like I've banged the drum of like they have talent everywhere, there has been too many underwhelming players.
Oh, yeah. Reinhardt's top of the list.
Yeah. But actually, Reinhardt, yes, I can't even think of one moment. At least Marchand has the assist in the tournament.
Sure. Like, Reinhardt gets power play one time, and I can't remember anything good he's done.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very interesting player. Yeah, does he even stand in front of there? Is that his position? I can't even... what number does he wear? Number 13?
He is 13, yeah.
Okay, unlucky.
Something that came up in the YouTube chat.
Bouchard.
No. Well, yes, but no. The double HFIOC, you need to have a captain on the ice.
What do you mean?
If Sidney Crosby can't play...
Oh, I thought you meant that was like a rule.
Oh, no. Like, if Crosby can't play, someone else has to wear the C.
Oh, McDavid.
It'll be McDavid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then...
Or maybe Doughty's not even wearing a letter, though. It's McDavid and McCarr.
Like, sometimes you give like, if you give Doughty a letter, what would that even do?
I don't know. I agree.
You know
McDavid will get
like,
the C.
So do they have to give someone else an A?
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume it's a forward. I wouldn't give it to MacKinnon for the sense, maybe they just will, but in the sense of like, what if he just gets hurt and leaves the game?
Yeah, well, I mean, then whatever.
It's just whatever.
I don't know if the letters mean all that much. I just kind of meant it more as like a cool footnote that McDavid might wear the C.
That is cool.
A photo of him in the Team Canada jersey with a C. That's
or the Olympics.
Yeah.
There'll be a great one of him. Oh, shit. If Crosby can't play, then McDavid might be the captain. Do they give out a trophy or is it
no,
just
it's just gold medals? Yeah. They play for gold medals.
That'd be cool. Under the Olympic banners, the lights.
It is pretty like wild that like, again, you think about like skiing and all that, like the winner gets 1 gold medal, and then for men's hockey, they're like 20 gold medals. Like everybody got, and like obviously everybody gets one, but like that is a funny thing to think about, like the disproportionate amount of medals.
Because this would only be like, this would be the bigger of the teams, the biggest team sport, the Winter Games.
Yeah,
of
it's
course,
the premier event.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, you know? Yeah, sorry. I thought you were making a joke. Never mind. The Summer Games is obviously field hockey, rugby, soccer's one, basketball. Quite a lot more team events. Like, obviously, there's the speed skating stuff.
6:30 remaining in the second period of Canada-USA in this gold medal game. DJ Bean, as a reminder, will join us in the second period of this one, and we'll talk a bit more about the game. We have a little bit of Oilers stuff to get to. Oh, I want to keep a couple more things I quickly want to get at. To Too Many Men conversation. The Czechia coach coming out and being like, it felt like we were playing against 6 players because the refs were so bad.
Hilarious.
So ironic.
Clearly hadn't watched the video yet.
Yeah.
Clearly hadn't, which I think that those quotes come out as they're walking through the dressing room.
Yeah.
So he must have felt kind of dumb after.
Yep. Just kind of thinking about that moment more yesterday. Man, did they ever dodge a bullet?
Oh,
Because if that goal would have stood as the winner, and we're sitting here talking about Canada being ousted, and I get this is maybe going to come off a little bit center of the earth, or center of the world, like we're Canada, hockey's all about us, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't mean it to be that way. But if the defining moment of these best on best Olympics, or the defining conversation, was Canada lost because there were 6 Czech players on the ice. Mm-hmm. And I know some people are doing like the 8. There's 8 guys on the ice.
that was funny, though, to see.
It was funny to see, but like, okay, that happens 20 times a game.
Every game.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they were line changing. When the rush is going the other way like that, any level of hockey, you cheat and you get on a couple steps early. But if that would have been the defining moment of these Olympics, this gold medal, if USA would have won it, would have came with a massive asterisk. Yeah. It would have been like, okay, you won gold, but you didn't have to play Canada. And you didn't have to play Canada because of this one tangible moment.
Yeah, I wonder how it would have been handled, because there obviously would have been the fury from the Canadian side of things. One thing that definitely would have happened, and happens basically anytime something happens a big large group doesn't like, there was a petition online we were all signing. We all know it. We all sign the one every year for Jack to get him on the Stanley Cup playoff broadcast. So I imagine this one would have been quite large. I don't know what would have happened. I really don't know.
Well,
I know they would have lost and they would have just stood.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the idea of it not being like legit because of that gigantic error. And I think the other side of it, which makes it even worse for if it was to go that way, is that it was an American NHL official. And now usually, like, I don't really care that it is that Chris Rooney is American. Like,
you
whatever.
would hope that these refs, even if you were a Canadian
I
ref,
don't think they're biased at all.
No.
But that would have been part of the storyline. It's like the NHL got its way. They made the rules the way they wanted it. They got the rink the size that they wanted and everything. And the one thing that ruined it for Canada was their own official.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been huge. Chris Rooney, anytime he stepped into a Canadian building for the rest of the season, would have been booed.
Yep.
And thank goodness that did not happen. Thank goodness. And I think one other side of it, which I'm kind of happy it went the way it did, is that, like, the Czechs deserve to be remembered for that game for playing well.
Yeah, that they won on like a Mickey Mouse thing.
Yeah, they played very well. And if they had won in overtime, I think once Canada gets that goal, it kind of erases it, to be honest. The third goal, that is Suzuki. But yeah, I think that if the Czechs would have won in overtime, I think it would have been a little bit more okay. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Canada had their opportunity to get back into the game. It was even Stevens. Then you're going at it anyway. Still would have been 2-2 if that goal didn't go in.
Yep. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. But thank God it didn't. Puck don't lie, baby.
So Aaron asked an interesting question before the show, being like, did they give all 6 guys pluses? And I was blown away at that question, because it's like, well, yeah, like technically 6 guys were on the ice. Yeah. So I went and looked. Obviously,
I see 6 guys right here in the huddle celebrating the goal.
Who didn't get the plus?
That's what I want to know. Who gets it taken away?
I can't tell all the numbers, but I went and looked on the IHF website here quickly. So I added up all the plus minus of the Czech team, and it works out to -3. So I think that means they actually only gave pluses to 5 guys. They did not give out a phantom plus, or they did not credit a 6th player. I don't know which player they didn't credit.
I would assume it's the last guy to hop on the ice.
Probably, yeah.
I would assume it's that.
Sorry, go on.
And then my last take on this, and it's something that I actually don't think they're kind of getting criticized enough for.
I was going to say the same thing.
If you're Canada, shame on you. Coaching staff, players, everybody. I know you're focused in on the game. I know this is maybe going to be like come off sounding whatever, but like, I think a lot of people in the chat, like, if you've played hockey at any level, I know it's obviously not a level with as much pressure and the speed and all that, you figure out usually in about 10, 15 seconds. The fact that Canada didn't clue in on that is a little bit like, shame on you guys. You should have caught on to that and been screaming. A lot of too many men calls, and I talked with Hutz about this today, and he didn't think I was off base at all. A lot of too many men calls are started by the bench banging their sticks and going, too many.
Mm-hmm. I think pretty much all of them. I would say more often than not is players alerting the refs, which is fine to do. It's kind of like a team call in a way. Like everyone collectively can call it. So I thought too, like it was wild because even after they scored, like John Cooper didn't say anything.
No,
like you can't. I don't think you can challenge it as a Connor asked in the chat. I don't believe Freeman said he's like I don't think they could have challenged that from what he understood. But like you can scream and like the refs should have been able to come to like the refs can still come together and call it off if they want to. But like no one knew.
No one knew. And I know someone said so Nate was the only guy who noticed and just didn't say anything from Clapper. I think Nate MacKinnon's lying. Yes. I don't think Nate MacKinnon noticed at all because he would have been screaming.
I completely agree. I don't think any of them knew.
No.
Guy was puking on the bench. He wasn't counting.
Nate just thought he was so sick that he's like hallucinating. He's like, I think there's 6.
He's seeing 12 out there.
He's in there. He's like, oh, God, I'm really fucked up. I think there's 6 guys in that rush. Well, moves on. Is that Tom Brady?
That is the Tom Brady.
Watching the gold medal game, Tom. I hope you go home disappointed.
High demand event.
Yeah, Nate was thrown on the bench. I don't think they would have been able to challenge it. So, yeah.
They got away with it. But that's fine. That's the game, baby. That is the game.
And they won. So, yeah. We'll turn the page on that hockey game here. 3:47 to go here in the second period, and then DJ Bean will pop on, and then David Schlemko top of the hour. But let's talk a little bit about some Oilers headlines here.
Can I say one thing quickly? Just on the women's game, the bronze medal game was today, and Switzerland won.
Congrats.
2-1. I think the final was. Again, as you all know, I'm terrible with names, but I think her name is Muller or Mueller, something like that. She's a Swiss. She's the best Swiss player.
Yeah.
She easily, from what my understanding is, which is very little of the women's game, but watching this, learn a little bit more. She could easily play in the PWHL and become one of like the great players in that league, but she chooses to play in Switzerland to help grow the game there. And the fact that I think she got the game-winning goal, one of the goals, whatever it was, and went home with a medal. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool story that she was like able to lead her team to that significant victory. And hopefully the women's game can keep growing in these European countries too. Because that goal in that first game against Canada was unreal. Like 55 saves or whatever it was.
They almost pulled off a crazy upset.
They really did. So
I counterpoint to that though, and I get what she's maybe saying, like I stay home to grow the game.
Yeah.
I would argue that you might actually help grow the game more if you went to the PWHL.
I think it depends what you're doing in the sense of like growing the game. Does that mean she's in like community rinks every night, like playing, like coaching the girls teams over there, like stuff like that? If you are literally just playing, I would agree with you. Yes.
Yeah, like go over and show other Swiss girls that like you can go do it and start that pipeline a little bit.
Yeah.
Someone said she plays for Boston.
Oh, that's what they said on the broadcast.
Maybe the broadcast.
Maybe she just went over. Maybe that's what they were saying. Well, the more you know. Clearly, I know. Like I said, I know very little.
Yeah, we sorted it out. Okay, let's do a little bit of Oilers talk. It's brought to you by our friends at Levelware. Hurley and Levelware. Golf is having a moment right now, not just in the traditional sense. What used to feel buttoned up has opened into something way more cultural, and you are seeing athletes from all kinds of pro sports getting into golf, even surfers using it as a new competitive outlet, a way to hang out and just enjoy the game differently. That shift is exactly where the Hurley and Levelware collaboration comes in. Hurley brings that laid-back board sports energy, and Levelware takes that inspiration and brings it to life through performance-driven, sustainably made apparel that's actually built to move and play. The result is the Fairwaves collection, and the collection is live now and available on Levelware's website to shop. Go to levelware.com, check out the polos, hoodies, hats, and casuals. All right, a little of Oilers talk as we continue to just tidy up the headlines from yesterday. I know our show yesterday was a little bit scatterbrained, I think we could call it. We were both just fired up about Canada winning and whatnot. But the Paul Coffey news settling in over the last 24 hours. You read Gregor's piece. It was a great piece, must read for Oilers fans. I should say we both read Gregor's piece. But tell me, what was your main takeaway from Gregor's article, which is live now, OilersNation.com?
My main takeaway was what Gregor kind of said at the end, and I think a lot of players have spoke about how impactful Coffey can be and the voice he has and all that stuff. But Gregor made the point of like, but maybe this is also like not a good thing at all that it's taken this veteran group, which was graded very highly by many other media companies of like being one of the better groups in the league.
Yeah.
It's going to take them Paul Coffey to get them over the line. And this should actually, the Oilers should look at this a bit more negatively, I think, is kind of what Gregor was coming across as. And not that he doesn't think Coffey couldn't have an impact. I think he can have an impact for sure. But I think the Oilers need to probably look at this group and be like, you guys got to figure out your shit. And I think this goes for the whole team as well. It's just like, how are we here? I think is the main overarching question I have for the group.
Yeah, that's fair. So there's a couple of lines, and similar to you, like it was the points at the end, and it's the part of the article titled "Coffey Returning and What It Means for the Future." And Gregor says, like, the optics aren't great, but that kind of means nothing if they go and turn around the results. He says, quote, "It's easy to blame Knoblauch and Stewart and find fault in their decision-making, player development, or their choices of systems. They aren't immune to criticism, but the players shouldn't be either. If the players will only play smart, committed, consistent hockey for Coffey, then the organization has bigger issues." And that's kind of something, I'm happy Gregor said it, because that goes back to, you and I did the rant that went a little viral of like, this team shouldn't need babysitters. We aren't the San Jose Sharks with a bunch of 19, 20-year-old kids wide-eyed going, oh, I don't know what the NHL's like. Halfway through a lot of these guys' careers, at least halfway through a lot of these guys' careers. The fact that, like, it just irks me that people maybe think it's like some sort of, they just scored, some sort of magic elixir, right? Where it's like, oh, once Paul's back, Jake Wallman's going to play better, and Nurse is going to play better, and Regula's going to take a step forward. Like, you can spin this the other way. Ty Emberson's played way better this year than he did last year.
Yep, totally.
Right? Like, maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I just think the people who think it's a magical fix are they're wrong. Like, it could help. It needs to be in combination with a whole bunch of other things. The other thing that Gregor brought up was his return raises questions. Did the owner make the call? Do they believe in their coaching staff? Is there internal dysfunction brewing? Do the players believe in the staff? Did Knoblauch realize they missed Coffey's presence and viewpoints? He says it might be a combination of all of the above. Yikes.
All right. Well, let's pick it apart a little bit more here.
Okay.
Until GJ gets here. Where is that in his article? It's kind of near the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think the disconnect is?
Well, I'm saying if this is Knoblauch himself going, I want Paul back, I didn't realize how much we'd miss him.
Yeah.
And maybe, like we said yesterday, there's a bit of Paul Coffey being like, I didn't want to coach the whole year. We can talk later.
Because, sorry, just to add on to that, there is a part in Gregor's article where he says Chris Knoblauch and Coffey do talk a lot still.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a relationship that just ended instantly and is now being restored. Like, it's been there continuously.
Yep. So, like, if that was the decision making, then I'm fine with it. If this was management who told Chris Knoblauch, Paul's coming back to the bench, major red flag, because it shows disconnect between Bowman and Knoblauch.
Yes.
If it's ownership doing it, major problem because you have a meddling owner.
Yeah, it is. And
there's involved and there's meddling. Meddling is walking into the room as the owner and saying, fist on the table, Paul Coffey's on the bench because he's my guy. Mm-hmm. Involved would be sitting down with them and saying, why isn't Paul Coffey on the bench? There you go.
Yeah.
DJ's here.
I was going to say, too, Jeff Jackson, if that is the case, needs to stop that.
Needs to say, Daryl, you hired us for a reason.
Yeah.
Let us be. Back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. Calm down.
It can't even get to Bowman.
No.
And if it gets to Bowman, it certainly cannot get to Knoblauch.
Yep. I agree. Okay. Let's get out to the guest line. It's brought to you by Oodle Noodle. You can win your way into the nation vacation just by eating Oodle Noodle. So many ways to win. Download the app. There's one. Go to any Oodle Noodle location in the city. No purchase necessary. Walk in, fill out a ballot. Boom, you're good. Order some delicious Oodle Noodle and get yourself a second ballot as well. Bring the whole family. Have dinner as a family. Oodle Noodle. Find a location near you. Ohana means family, Liam. That's right.
Family means nobody gets left behind.
And everybody eats Oodle Noodle.
Exactly.
OodleNoodle.ca to find out more as we welcome in our good friend DJ Bean from What Chaos, 1/3 of What Chaos popping on. Deej, you guys watching the...
Oh, no.
He's DJ. A little bit off to the side. We'll figure.
I know, no one else is in studio right now. I tried to do it myself, and just as you were about to put me on, Sean texted me, and he was like way off center, dude. So I'll move. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Easy.
Are you? Is this a new hairstyle for you? Are you rocking the modern mullet?
It's yeah. It's like not totally doing the Paul Mescal thing, but yeah, I've started to embrace because my sides get like very very big and floofy, and I like my long hair. But yeah, just honestly, I'm hopping on a trend, I guess, because everyone is doing it. So yes, I did though, Tyler. I've started to NHLify my hockey helmet, pop out the ear guards, endanger myself a little more.
Yeah.
Do you do ear guards on or off?
Ear guards on. I'm full cage. I take all the chirps for it. And when guys chirp me, I kind of say like my mouth is my job. I can't risk losing my teeth.
Fuck yeah. I don't think I'm gonna. I got a visor. I'm gonna put it on. I think I'm going to play one game and then be too scared to keep going with it. So I assumed you were a visor guy. I don't know why.
I'll do visor at like the pond hockey tournament in Jasper and all of that kind of stuff when it's less intense. But when it's like actually playing men's league, full cage. And like the funny thing is, I've been playing on the same men's league team now for like 6 or 7 years. We are down to only, when I first started the team, we were like 80% visors, 20% cages. Everyone over the course of the 6 years has either taken a puck off the side of the head or gotten whacked up by the eye. We're down to 2 of our 15 players still wear visors. Everyone else is cages because eventually, once you get whacked up high once, it's kind of like, oh, this ain't worth it.
So do you know the only reason though why I've never heard anyone talk about this, but the only reason I want to do the visor is so it's easier to drink water.
Just get a Gatorade bottle and squirt it in.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend was saying. She was like, isn't like a squeezable bottle like $2? Why are you spending $100 on a visor? Anyway, let's talk hockey.
Let's talk hockey. We are 40 minutes through this gold medal game between Canada and USA. You, obviously, American. Liam, bet on Team USA. Can't believe it. But stunningly, and I have no problem saying stunningly because I didn't bet on Team Canada. And usually if there's a Canadian sport to bet on, I'm in. I was very nervous Canada was going to get waxed in this game. Has this first 40 been surprising to you?
Very surprising to me because not only is it 1-0 Canada, but Aaron Frankel made an awesome save on Sarah Fillier late in that second period. It could be 2-0 Canada. And USA has met its match because every second of this tournament has just been cake for USA. We were joking about congratulations to Hillary Knight, got engaged yesterday, the day before the gold medal game. And we were saying on our show, we were like, ultimate sign of disrespect to Canada. Before your big game, you're out running personal errands and taking care of having these great big life moments instead of being terrified. We kid. Congratulations to everyone. But we were like, no one should think this is going to be close. It was 5-0 when they met in group play. Obviously, Marie-Philippe Poulin was not in that game, but Pete and a lot of people were making the point, Marie-Philippe Poulin is the GOAT. Is she a 5-goal difference? If she's playing in that game, is she scoring 5 goals? Probably not. USA looked so much better than everybody at every stop in this tournament to this point. So shout out Canada. Tons of respect for the women's team. I expect the men's team, even with what happened yesterday, I've expected the whole way for Canada to win gold on the men's side. But I'll be honest, I never really gave Canada a chance, especially after the first couple of games in this tournament and now I'm jumping back to the women's side, I apologize, where you saw that the United States' college players were just so ready and that the quote-unquote risk of putting a bunch of kids on the roster has paid off so well for the United States. So I thought they were going to walk all over them. The last 3 gold medal games that have been played between the States and Canada on the women's side have been 1-goal games. They've all been 3-2, so idiots like me who bet on USA -2.5 should have considered that. But good for Canada so far, but it's not over.
Mm-hmm. I only did 1.5. So I'm not considered one of the idiots, just a moron. I'll go.
Is that a scale down on
I think it's not as bad. I think one side of it too, which you kind of mentioned, if Canada was to kind of complete this game and win it, I think this would be a crazier upset than people would give it credit for, outside of just knowing it's Canada versus US. Like you said, that first game, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of that today, going into the game, where obviously a lot of people don't watch every event in the Olympics. I certainly don't, but I definitely follow the hockey and watch as many hockey games as I can. But a lot of people are just going to drop in for medal games, semifinals, gold medal games. And a lot of people got into this game today being like, okay, USA, Canada. So who's favored? Is it probably Canada? Because everyone in the United States assumes like Canada is going to be the best. And like, no, they have the best player ever, but actually USA's roster is I'll say it's a lot better. And USA has the better goalie. USA has the best goalie in this tournament. Aaron Frankel, 3 shutouts, had allowed 1 goal in the tournament coming into this game. So it would be a huge upset. And Liam, I've dipped my toes into the upset comparison waters the last couple of days, and I'm finding it is not for the faint of heart. When you compare one upset to another upset or try to grade an upset as being this big or this would be this shocking. I mean, we were talking about it a ton on the men's side with Czechia and Canada. People lose their minds because they want their favorite upset to be the coolest thing ever. And as an American, if you say that anything would be the biggest upset ever, people get so mad and say it's the Miracle on Ice no matter what.
I think there's about 5-6 minutes left in the intermission here, so we got some time to keep kicking it with a few things. I wanted to throw an idea at you. Like, our friend Nick Alberga is getting roasted by a lot of people on Twitter right now because he put out the take of, and I'll read it for the podcast listeners. I don't care which time zone the Olympics are being staged in. It's downright criminal to schedule the men's hockey gold medal final for Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific. It's the feature presentation of the entire 2 weeks. And again, I understand that the time zone in Italy's way off, and I get why some people are jumping down Alberga's throat for it, but I actually kind of agree with him a little bit because NHL participation was supposed to grow the game. And yes, in Europe, this game is going to be on at a totally normal time. But I think if we're getting Canada-USA, I want as many eyeballs in the USA on that hockey game for the growth of the game. And I think, again, diehard hockey fans are going to wake up early and be dialed right into that thing. I don't know if the casuals are waking up at 8 a.m. Eastern or wherever time zone, 7 or 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. I don't think casuals are tuning into this hockey game because it'll start too early, no matter how good the matchup could be.
2.8.
I'm going to give you 2.8 million views. Dang.
Crazy.
I am going to give you, I'm talking about the live chat, of course, so make sure that you like and subscribe.
Yes,
the 2.8 million of you that are watching the show right now. I'm going to give, I love Alberga. I love giving him shit for his takes because he means them and he stands on business. What a guy. I'll give you 1 more hour. I'll say you can push it back to 9, but other than that, I think I'm not like a gatekeepy hockey fan, but I think that right now in the Olympics, some people are doing a little too much to think of people who probably aren't going to watch it anyway. Like, I don't know if you saw the Skip Bayless thing about like 3-on-3. That's what, like, you taking notes, NHL, not knowing that they already do it in overtime. But then I was like, maybe does he mean it should be 3-on-3 all the time? Either way, I don't care because Skip Bayless isn't a hockey fan and he's probably not going to watch it anyway. So I am not overly concerned with making it too accessible for people who probably aren't going to watch it anyway. I hope that everybody does watch it. I think that, it would be great for people if it were on at 9. But personally, at 9 ET, I have loved getting up at 6:10 to watch my guy, Freddie Tiffels, and the rest of Team Germany. Leon Draisaitl also on the team. Mm-hmm. Josh Szymanski, best young player in the tournament, many are saying. I love getting up at 6:10 a.m. to watch those games. And like kind of sleepy during them, get coffee, the first intermission, and then you're good to go about your day. I've had a great time with the long days that begin very, very early.
I'll say this. As someone who lived in Europe during the Winter Games, 2010 specifically, that game was about 8 p.m. on English time, I think. There was like a noon start, a 1 start.
Was it an afternoon game?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I watched it in the evening. And I remember going to school the next day and be like, did you guys see that game last night? And nobody watched. And now it's like prime time. I just don't think people care as much. Like, I agree with DJ. Like, I think it is. I agree with both sides, I should say. I can see the value of having it at certain times, but other times, like for Europe, like that's a good time for it to be it.
All right. We have one more Time for one more thing, Liam. So I'm going to make you pick between your last two questions. You can do your Canada versus Europe versus USA or Toy Story 5, but you do not have time to ask both.
Yeah, and you need to consider now, whatever you choose, I'm going to just bring up like 4 things that I wanted to get in anyway and like fuck up your show because I'm so mad that I realized yesterday that Stan Bowman traded more for Tristan Jarry than the Red Wings did for John Gibson. But that's neither here nor there.
I was honestly enjoying my break from like bitching about the Oilers goaltending over the last couple of weeks, so I might just put a big X over that conversation. I've been really loving like no talk about. I mean, the Paul Coffey thing yesterday. I'm trying my best to like get into it and like have a strong take, but I'm just kind of like I'm enjoying the Olympics, and we haven't talked Oilers for like, or we haven't talked a lot of Oilers for 2 weeks.
We tried to do it for like 30 seconds, and Pete was even pushing for it. He was like, they should just put Paul Coffey back on the bench. And it happened. And we were like, although I will say the whole thing, I'm sure you're talking about it on your show, it seems very fishy. It seems very, very fishy.
It does.
So I've decided I'll save Toy Story 5 for what's trending.
Okay.
And I'll go with something I've been trying to bring up on the show essentially all week, which almost like completely fell apart yesterday. Canada versus Europe. Let's say this hypothetical was to happen. And when I say Europe, I mean all of it.
So your thinking is like, instead of a 4 nations, what if we did Canada, USA, and then like a world team with everyone else?
Who would win, Canada or Europe? And I made a European roster for you, which Aaron will kind of bring in it. So here's my forward groups. The LA Kings jersey, I know what you're thinking. Who is that? Panarin.
Okay.
So my first line, DJ, and you can switch out whatever you want. Kaprizov, Draisaitl, Kucherov. Second line, Kempe, Barkov, Pastrnak.
Is the answer.
Wait. Panarin, Stützle, Rantanen. Fourth line, Safkowski, Hischier, Nylander. Easily the weakest spot. That's where we're getting our goals. Blue line.
Oh, my God.
Josi, Dahlin, Miro Heiskanen, Seider, Forsling, Hedman, and my 3 goalies. I didn't make them, but it would be Shesterkin, Vasilevsky, and Sorokin. But I will say this on the Canadian team. You can add players to your roster as well. Like on my one, I had like Scheifele was on my team. I had, I think I had Bouchard and Chychrun on my team. I took out Doughty, he's ass.
I think Europe smokes them, but DJ,
what do you think?
Yeah, the forward group for Canada still is so unbelievable. Like, I think Canada has the best roster ever just because of its forward group. Like, its defense and goaltending is not amazing, but that would be, I mean, like 10 out of 10 at every position would be Team Europe there. And like doesn't have Connor McDavid on it, but has Leon Draisaitl on it, and like Leon Draisaitl was the second best player maybe in this tournament before Germany got eliminated. Like, I don't know if you saw I think maybe Dimitri, someone had like a thing about like offense generation in the tournament, and Draisaitl was second to Connor McDavid. And given the rest of Germany's roster, it just like there's a million signs that Leon Draisaitl is just one of the best players in the world. But yes, Team Europe, and I would hope they would wear the Team Europe jerseys from the 2016 World Cup of Hockey.
To honor them.
To honor that team and their contributions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
I love that team.
I'm curious about team spirit.
Like team morale in this hypothetical tournament.
Like Canada versus the world, essentially.
Would the world take pride in being on the world?
Yeah, but Canada, would they be able to overcome the world? What do you think?
I got to bite my tongue on. I could make a Team USA comment right now that would get a lot of people mad at me, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. And granted, the people on Team USA have a lot of I have a lot of pride to be an American, but my views as an American don't line up always to what the government of America is doing. So I think that Team Europe players would be able to get over whatever differences there may be.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I've one really, really quick one. What did you make of Mike Rupp's tweet yesterday? Did you see that?
No, what was it?
I didn't even see this.
Mike Rupp, I hope this was kind of a joke, but it didn't seem like it was. I will read out loud to the audience right now. So can we all admit can all of Canada admit that USA would have easily won the Four Nations with Quinn Hughes available?
He was definitely fucking around.
First comment. His replacement in Sanderson had a goal in the gold medal game. Thoughts, DJ?
I mean, well, here's how can I spin this a different way for you? Quinn Hughes on Team USA and his impact, or Macklin Celebrini and his impact on Team Canada? Who's the greater addition to their team?
It's Macklin Celebrini.
Is it?
I don't know, but like Macklin Celebrini is, I mean, I get how big an absence Quinn Hughes was, but I think that tournament was always going to be a toss-up between those two teams, just given that NHL rules were allowed. But Macklin Celebrini has been the more, I would say, the cooler story, because it's, you just don't know until somebody's there. Like, I think we all could have expected that Quinn Hughes was going to be awesome in the Olympics, but with a young player like Celebrini, it's just easy to wonder, like, is he ready for the moment? How have you guys done with everybody now deciding McDavid's going to go to San Jose to play with Celebrini?
Yeah,
I heard it's the other way.
Oilers offer sheet Celebrini.
Oh, that I like. I saw some Oilers fans doing that, like photoshopping Celebrini into an Oilers jersey, and I was like, I love my Oilers fans, but that is not how hockey people are viewing this right now. They are doing the other Photoshop, and I do not like it.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the week. It's like, oh, I don't want to. You know what? I don't want him on the same NHL team. Let's stop this conversation. DJ, the third period's on, so we will we'll let you go. Enjoy the final frame here, the women's gold medal game, and enjoy the rest of the men's tournament.
Appreciate you, friends. Talk soon.
There you go. DJ Bean, our friend from What Chaos with Sean DePaz, Pete Blackburn. Great stuff over there. You can also now subscribe to their Patreon if you want to give them a little bit more support. They do a bonus show every Friday on their Patreon.
I think Canada would have more of a chance than people give them credit for.
Yeah?
Based purely off team spirit.
I just think it's, we're never going to know the answer to this question.
That's not true.
Oh?
We never, ever thought we would have a World Cup where there was a team North America of players 23 or younger, or a team Europe.
True.
Well,
that might, honestly, like, not to get too deep into it, that might be the way they try and get, like, Russian athletes back into, like, hockey events.
Is to put them under the guise of a team world.
Yeah, we're like team world. So, you know what I mean? Something.
But then they're just the roster's going to be like 45% Russians, and it'll just be Team Russia.
And Nathan Walker.
And one Aussie. Yeah.
He's the only non-European player I could think of.
Just starting the third period of this gold medal game, so we're going to be keeping our eyes on that as we roll through the rest of the show. But as we circle things back to that Oilers conversation, Aaron, you had a couple of clips actually for us. You had Knoblauch on Coffey rejoining the staff and Jake Wallman as well. Can we start with the Paul Coffey one? Here's what Knoblauch. Sorry, they're both Paul Coffey clips. Here's Knoblauch on Paul Coffey rejoining the staff.
Well, I think he can offer a lot to our group, and right now I think we need a little jolt, a little something to change the direction of where our team's been going. And I've got a lot of respect for Paul. My time working with him, I didn't know him before, but obviously I liked working with him and thought between the two of us and this coaching staff that we've had in the past that we've got the most out of the guys. And with him coming back, I think it'll give us that jolt, and I think he'll add some new perspectives. And, I've been talking to Paul throughout the season, throughout the summer, and, through stretches of good and bad throughout the year, and got his perspective on how he saw our team playing and what we need to improve on. And, I just think with, like I said before, where our team is at right now, we're just okay. And we feel that we need a little something to just push us over, give us a little something. And, I think Paul will add to that.
Someone in the chat said this guy loves to lie. So fair.
We have famously labeled
that
him
was
as
my
a
first
liar.
reaction when I told you guys I grabbed these clips. I went, I don't believe a word he's saying.
But when I hear him say all of that stuff, there is a part of me that goes like, maybe this was a plan all along. And like, they knew, they kept the spot on the bench open.
Yeah,
they didn't replace it, which is an odd thing to do. Like, not a lot of teams do that. But I'm curious if maybe this wasn't like, again, Paul Coffey kind of saying like, I don't want to do a whole year, and them saying like, yeah, let's see what Mark Stewart can kind of do, and you'll come back at some point later. Because if they were truly in that much communication, it seems like Coffey would have had some say all along. That's a great defensive play to break up that chance.
That was good. I think the other side of it, which is interesting, because there was some reports, obviously Gregor briefly mentioned it too, like the coaching staff didn't fully want this. But what I would say is like, well, you guys got yourselves in this spot, like to bring him back. And like, I don't think you can be upset with the decision to bring back a Paul Coffey, but more of the decisions that you made throughout the year to get to this point.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that Coffey isn't coming into it totally blind too. If there has been a lot of communication between him and Knoblauch, then that's a positive thing as well. He knows, obviously he was on the team last year, but like knows exactly what's happening right now too.
Calvin says, Tyler, what is the thought of Knoblauch if after 2 weeks with Coffey, the D is back playing well? I would offer this as a point, though, from Gregor says this in his article, for a month in December, they were one of the best teams in the NHL, preventing scoring chances, high danger looks, 5-on-5 shots, all those key metrics. The Oilers are one of the best teams in the NHL for a month, which just, again, goes back to kind of what I've said of like, this blue line isn't built bad. I'm not even totally sold that they're coached bad. I think they've just played bad for too much of this season. And maybe this Coffey thing, again, snaps them back into it a little bit, gives them a jolt, which is kind of what Jake Wallman said too. So let's hear from Wallman, then I'll let you have a thought.
There's obviously some value there that Coffey brings to the table, and definitely we've been through with him before. So, I think searching a little bit for some answers, and obviously when you look outside, that's one of the things that was talked about being changed. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'll first start by saying, regardless of who's behind the bench coaching the D, the onus is got to be first on us, and taking accountability, myself and all of us included. There's a lot more that we can be doing, and to be at that championship level, there's a lot more that needs to come from us first. But to answer your question, I mean, it's Paul Coffey. You know, it's definitely a figure behind the bench that a lot of people respect and look up to, and obviously he's got that. I guess I'd use the word aura when he walks in the room a little bit. So it'll be a change, and hopefully we're still familiar with that.
Our next guest is almost ready to go, so I'll give you a thought. Also, egg on my face. I texted David Schlemko. I was like, hey, you still good? And as I hit send, he popped in, so I'm embarrassed. But anyways, your thoughts on what Jake Wallman had to say.
May I speak?
Yes, you're good. Don't do that.
I was joking. I think... I mean, there's not much more he can say, right?
Yeah, I mean, and no player's going to come out and be like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I think they could come out and be like, I don't like that we had to get back to this because we played so badly. And the idea, which is correct, that they played well in, January? December. Mm-hmm. I just think it's a tough argument to have when you've played so poorly in the other three.
Yep, that's fair.
Like a quarter of the season, you've only played well. Like, this is a group who was the odds-on favorites who win the Stanley Cup. And now you've had to go backwards. I just don't like it. I don't like that idea. They got to be better.
All right, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about more with our friend David Schlemko, the former NHLer, veteran of over 400 games. But first, we'll bring him in with an ad. David Schlemko is brought to you by our friends at Bright Dental, family dental office located in St. Albert. Open Monday to Friday, 8 to 8. Bright Dental is Blue Diamond Invisalign provider, and you can schedule your free dental scan today. They also do same-day crowns and offer a full range of dental services. Give Bright Dental a call to book an appointment, or for more information, go to brightdental.ca. As we welcome in David Schlemko. You can hear him on Sports 1440. Popping in. What rink are you at? What are you up to today?
What's up, boys? I'm in St. Albert, actually. Just like the dental place. It's about to jump on
Oh, we might have lost him there.
You guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I think there's just maybe a little bit of an internet slowdown there, but we got you now. There, yeah, we're connected good now. Okay, we're good to roll. Good to hear you're out in St. Albert. Home of Colton Parayko, and we're going to talk a little NHL or a little Olympics in a couple of minutes with you. But what was your first impression of the Paul Coffey news that he's coming back to the bench? And I guess like as a secondary tack onto that question, from your experience as a defenseman in the NHL, like how much of an impact does a fresh D coach really have on the group?
It's huge. I think it's huge, honestly. I mean, I heard what Liam said right before I came on there. There's no player that's going to be like, I don't want Paul Coffey back there, right? I mean, the guy's a legend. I think he's instilled a lot of confidence in guys like Evan Bouchard, and kind of giving him the confidence to make some of the plays he makes. So I'm sure, especially a guy like Bouch, is real happy about it.
Do you think it could have an impact on guys like Wallman and Nurse too? I think Wallman's thing is more of like a conditioning idea. Like I think he struggled to get back up to pace, but I think it's fair to say that second pairing of him and Nurse has been quite underwhelming since the Christmas break.
Yeah, I'd say underwhelming's a pretty nice way to put it. It's been a real tough pair to watch. I mean, the tough part's you got 16 million and change locked up in these guys, right? So you're committed to them. Unless you're ready to move one, we got to find a way to make it work. So, yeah, I think that's a great point. Hopefully Paul can come in and, maybe he just sees something that the rest of the staff doesn't see. It could be something little and, it could make a big difference.
I wonder, too, if part of it, and this isn't so much a question as more of a take, but Paul Coffey has the reputation of being a bit of a hard ass, too. Like a no-nonsense guy, I think is maybe a better way to put it. And I wonder if that maybe just doesn't perk some guys up a little bit. Like, whereas much as the system didn't change all that much, and Mark Stewart was there in the past, and he's still there now, and that's an interesting angle with him getting demoted. But, could that be a thing, too, where just mentally this gives guys, a switch is going to be flipped, and it's like, oh, man, I got to, snap into it. Otherwise, Paul's going to be on me.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I'll go back to playing in Phoenix when I started with Wayne behind the bench. There's a certain level of pressure that you kind of put on yourself. You don't want to go back to the bench and be embarrassed looking at your coach, and he's probably thinking, what the hell are you doing out there? So I think there's a little bit of that too, but for the most part, I think he's just going to instill some confidence back there in these guys, make some more plays than they've been making, right? I think when I watch the Oilers D-core, the biggest problem is we're not moving the puck efficiently out of our zone, right? You got the puck on your stick, eyes up, toes up for 1, 2, 3 seconds, and we're still not making an efficient play. I mean, that was Paul's bread and butter, so you got to think that's got to get a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, the one side of it, too, and Paul Coffey and Mark Stewart obviously were very different hockey players. Yeah. And the Oilers want to be this team that transitions so quickly and gets pucks to McDavid and Draisaitl. Paul Coffey, I don't care how long he is removed from the game, he will still see what's happening on the ice, and he can point and be like, hey, Nurse, this guy's dropping a little bit lower. You can hit that gap a little bit more and find guys, right? Yeah. That's how it probably goes.
Right. I think that's a great point, right? I mean, Mark Stewart was just a nails defenseman. He was in your and that's good to have too. But like you said, there's a little bit of that finesse part of the game, seeing holes, jumping into seams, that kind of stuff. I think that Koff will be great with the video and stuff like that on off days, just showing guys little tweaks and little things that they're maybe missing.
I want to switch this conversation now over to the Olympics and Team Canada. Obviously, yesterday was a unbelievable just day of hockey. Never mind the Canada comeback, the Finland comeback, the Americans getting their OT scare. But as Canada goes forward here, the one critique I've had of this team is that their blue line has not been good enough at moving the puck. I think Doughty has struggled at times. Parayko, again, we love him. He's struggled at times. What have you made of this blue line and maybe some guys who need to step up as the games are going to presumably get tighter here into the semifinals?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Tyler. I think that's been the Achilles heel. I think that's why a guy like Thomas Harley's been so good. A lot of people saying he shouldn't even been on the team. He's had a tough year coming in. He's been unbelievable in my mind. I mean, obviously the go-ahead goal against the Czechs, got to get that shot through. But other than that, he's had some great chemistry with McDavid, joining the rush. I've really liked his game. On the opposite end, yeah, guys like Parayko, guys like Sanheim just look a little bit of a step behind. But I think we got to keep in mind that these guys were picked to play against the Americans and these big, heavy forwards and the style of game that they want to play too. So yet to be seen whether, maybe these guys should be on the team or not, in my opinion.
Actually, it's an interesting angle, I think, with Crosby right now. Obviously, he might not play. Would you dress him still? I kind of just thought about this on the spot. Do you think having Sidney Crosby on the bench is more impactful than, a player that can play, I guess you could say, too?
It's a good question. I would say, how bad is he hurt? Right? Like, I really didn't like watching Hedman sit on the bench for the whole game yesterday when he could have maybe been getting treatment for 2 hours
True.
and maybe been feeling better. Maybe he could get in the lineup for the semifinal game, right? So, I don't know. That's the only thing I would think of with Sid. Is there a chance he could get back and into the final? If so, I wouldn't want him sitting on the bench. If he's done, that makes it even tougher for me. There's a lot of good players on Canada that would give their left arm to be out there, even if it's just for a shift or two. At the same time, all these guys, they idolize Sid. Even the superstars of today, like this guy was their idol growing up. So I can see a world where John Cooper thinks it's a good idea to have him on the bench as well.
Well, if you remember last year at the Four Nations, Matt Tkachuk tried to gut it out. Yeah. And he only played, 3 minutes in that final? Then he sat on the bench the whole game. Kyle Connor was in the press box, and it was a 1-goal game. Sure. And you sat there and wondered, the last thing I would want is for them to dress Sid to be like the emotions.
Yeah.
And then Nate MacKinnon's knee gives out on him. Someone blocks a shot and goes down. And now all of a sudden you're in a tight game with the Americans going like, oh, shit, we're down to only 11 forwards instead of the 13 we could have started with.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I guess one more for you. If Sid can't go and you look at this forward group, and I know Nate's knee is like a whole nother part of this conversation, but McDavid, Celebrini, MacKinnon's been so good. Can you keep all three of them together if there's no Sid, or do you need to split up that trio in order to kind of build some depth out everywhere else?
I like the nuclear option. Personally, I love that 3M option. I think you got those guys together for the whole game. They're going to give you at least one goal. As far as the rest of the lineup, I didn't mind Suzuki coming in Sid's spot. I thought he did a good job. Obviously, tough luck to hit the post there. It's a good thing he got the tying goal. He would have been thinking about that one for 4 years. But you know who? I'd really like to see Sam Bennett get back in the lineup. Marshy, I love Brad Marchand, but he looks injured. He's barely playing. He's not even skating on the optional skates. So I would like to see Sam Bennett get another crack in there.
And I guess my last one is just maybe a thought on Jordan Binnington, who made some massive saves down the stretch. And listen, I've criticized him. I think I can say we've criticized him heavily. Didn't think he should have gotten picked. Canada was hell-bent on he is a gamer, he is a winner. And after watching yesterday, I'm retiring my hatred of Jordan Binnington, and I'm fully leaning into the narrative that some goalies are just gamers and winners. When you look back at your career and different guys you played for, is that a media made-up narrative that a goalie can have a clutch gene, or are there truly some guys who, when the moment is biggest, they just don't get phased?
No, I think there's definitely something to that. And I'll be the first, or I guess the second to admit, I was with you guys. I didn't think he should even be on the team. I didn't think he should be getting a start. Obviously, John Cooper knows better. Their management, they know these guys. But, there's definitely a little bit of an X factor, I think, right? I mean, you just look at the history of Canadian hockey. Lots of Canadian players seem to have it. I played with Carey Price in Montreal for a couple of years. Just he's a guy that there's nothing seems to rattle him. You know, some guys there's no moment that's too big.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, there are under 10 minutes to go in the women's gold medal game right now. Canada holding on to a 1-0 lead. So, Schlemmer, we'll let you go. We're going to dial back into watching and half-ass doing our job. But appreciate you giving us some time. Thanks for doing this.
All right, thanks, fellas. Anytime. Have a good one.
There, David Schlemko, live from Joe McGinley Arena in St. Albert. Good rink.
Great rink.
Great rink. Just down the road from my house.
I don't know.
Don't dox yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Well, to be fair, the Jerome McGinley rink is in the middle of it.
St. Albert, yeah. It's pretty much down the road from everything in St. Albert.
Yeah.
Buff Snyder says, but Binnington is still a lunatic. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, yeah. So's MacKinnon.
Yeah, so's MacKinnon. Like, again, Nate, I wasn't buying into the whole Binnington is a whatever big game goalie. I kind of said, like, the BS narrative doesn't apply like that.
Yeah.
I think we can now look at him stepping up in 2 overtimes for Canada, one last year, one this year, and be like, you know what? Maybe the proof's getting a little undeniable, but...
Game 7.
Yeah, Game 7 of the Cup final. The fart is in. Great commenter.
Honestly, the fart, you could say anything, and I just want to read it.
Yeah. Regula to the Condors. What do you make of this? Well, I think the Oilers are just taking advantage of an option that's in front of them, and it's sending him down for a 14-day conditioning stint because he meets the requirement for it. This guy's got to play some hockey games. I think that's clear. So I have no problem with this decision. I think it's the correct decision to make. Get him some games and go from there. If he plays in Bakersfield for a bit and you decide, you know what, we acquired a new D-man at the deadline, we want to keep Regula down there, sneak him through waivers later on, closer to the end of the year if you need to. But for now, it's good to get him games.
So the rule is a maximum of 14 consecutive days continue paying on NHL salary. All right. So yeah, so I don't, however many games, probably minimum of 4, I would assume he gets to play. Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a very positive thing. I think Regula needs to regain a bit of confidence. I think his upside is still pretty good, I would say. I think he has the ability to be an everyday NHL defenseman. And what is he, 6'4"? He's shown some good offensive touch. He just hasn't shown it on the regular. No pun intended.
Regular. On the regular.
I'll take it.
This is going to slowly just turn into a watch-along of this Canada-USA game. If you're watching and you want to get synced up to us, we're at 7:55, 54, 53, 52, 51. And I'll do a countdown on the next face-off again if you want to pause your TV.
Pretty wild. I actually can't believe this
I'm stunned they're holding on to this lead. And they've had chances to go up 2-0 as well. It's not like they're in full-on protection mode, although that maybe wasn't... Wait, that off. Good hustle.
Well done.
Holy shit. Come on. Damn. Jam. Okay, we just got the whistle for the chance in front.
I'm ahead of you. I'm going to make no reactions.
Ryder from the Sauce.
Just pause yours for a second here. Oh, go ahead.
Bet a 1-0 Canada win.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Damn, he exact scored it. Well, it's not over yet. But,
no, yet.
While we're in this whistle, the Rachel Homan Empire.
The Homan Empire continues. They're currently playing in a semifinal. Maybe that's the men, sorry.
I think it's the men.
Either way, after a terrible start, I believe they were 1-3. They ended up finishing second in the preliminary round, I guess we're calling them out there. That team is so good, and I just don't see a scenario where they don't win the whole thing, to be honest.
Homan?
The Homan Empire.
They've snapped out of their funk,
they're not even close to the same team anymore. The men are currently playing Norway in the semifinals as it loads here. It is currently 3-1 Canada, end of the 8th.
Okay, so in
8th end, sorry.
8th end, who has the hammer in the 8th?
Norway.
Okay,
there's no way they get this game tied.
Oh, but they'd have hammer in 8 and 10 here, so you got to hold them at some point.
You gotta score in 9.
You got to score 9 or blank 9, and you should be in a decent spot.
Yeah, blanking.
If you're Norway, you're doing everything in your power to make sure 9 isn't a blank. Or if you're Canada, just hold them to 1 here, and you might be able to put yourself in a nice spot.
Canada currently has shot rock.
Can you turn your laptop just like a little bit? Can I see that too? I'm watching all of the Olympics right now, or all the Winter Games. Huh?
Is that close? Am I good there?
You're good there. All right, Canada back underway. We are at the 7-minute mark here. I have a sinking feeling in my stomach that we're going to get overtime in this hockey game.
No, not me.
No?
3-1 U.S.
Oh, it just feels like these two always... It just always feels like these two find a way to get to overtime, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, again, we've said it a few times already, but this would be quite the victory for Canada. It's a very interestingness in one sense of like,
push it out.
I don't think this is the way Canada should be playing. Embellishment?
Oh, I thought that was a penalty.
Like,
that could have been a penalty too.
That was a late call.
Did they call that for boarding? That was so late. Canada's going to get a power play here, and they're going to have a chance to potentially go up 2-0 late in this hockey game. Wow.
Am I crazy to think that could be more than 2?
I don't think you're crazy at all. Erin Ambrose is down in a heap too. Trainer's coming out to her.
I think I don't know what the hitting rules are, but that could be a major.
Yeah.
Based off what I kind of saw. We have not seen a replay yet.
No.
But that was a major hit.
That was a violent play.
Clearly from behind. Not even that close to the boards, to be honest. Let's see it here. So
here's the first one. Okay, that's not a trip.
Honestly, could have been a embellishment.
Yeah. Well, I think she might have just been diving for the puck.
Okay. But yeah, we still have not seen the replay. Let's go.
Okay, here's the replay.
Oh, that's still not a replay.
That's boarding. I don't know if it's 5 because it's shoulder on shoulder, but it's boarding.
I thought it was a bit more egregious first time. Definitely not a 5.
No, they're reviewing it. I think they always do this though. Yeah.
But just what I was saying is I'm glad Canada is obviously holding on despite where I put my money today.
Yeah, Ambrose is going down the tunnel.
Canada should be at a stage now where they are still kind of dominating games. You know what I mean? I would still like them. We'll find out here. 2 minutes soon. Boarding. We'll see when the time comes. If I guess we can't.
Yeah.
I just think they should be still looking to the future, and maybe they still will.
Yeah.
Maybe they might not have a choice due to how old this team is.
2 minutes.
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
shoulder. Yeah.
There's some other news here. Did we get any Spotify questions from yesterday?
We did. All right.
Thank goodness.
Well, our question yesterday was, what do you think of Paul Coffey's return? I got a bit of a spicier one to give the podcast listeners today.
Oh, I thought you were going to respond.
Oh, shit. That's a bad turnover. Aaron, do you want to flash them up and I can start reading them? I know we're kind of dialed into the game here.
This first one's complimentary.
Oh, thank you. Tristan
is in.
Battle?
Not our intern, Tristan. This podcast is always the first listen of the day for me in the last 4 years while I drive. My favorite listen. I think having Coffey will be great. We have played with him, or Calm Knob. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Loud Coffey, Calm Knoblauch, the way they kind of juxtapose each other. I see what you're saying there. That makes sense. In the world of hypothetical, I heard a rumor of Pete DeBoer. I don't know how to spell the name. Whoops. LOL. As a defensive coach, would you have preferred him or Coffey? DeBoer wouldn't have. Oh.
I don't think
DeBoer's not coming to be an assistant anywhere.
Yeah. I think Pete DeBoer will get a NHL head coaching job next season, depending on how things go here for Coffey. For Knoblauch and the Oilers. Maybe it's in Edmonton.
Yeah, and again, I'll give my next question in a second here. U.S. is going to... Oh, they did get it out. Next one we got is from Joshua, who said, that game got me worried for a second. They definitely need to find a way to spread out the superstar. Believe is back, though. Go Canada. So Joshua, the take on Canada. Chandler is in. The defense was pretty good under Coffey before, but I think in the end, it's up to the players to actually play well. He'll provide a different perspective and swagger, though, so I think it'll be helpful in the end, and Mark Stewart can just focus on helping the PK to stop leaking goals. I think that is a great point, Chandler. Very good comment.
Completely agree.
Rowan is in. Don't know how to feel about Coffey since I don't know how much he can actually affect the effort and small mistakes. Do you guys think Dry is going to stay in Milan and support McDavid, or is he on a flight to Edmonton? I would imagine, haven't seen it either way. Oh, that maybe him and Connor are splitting a plane back, actually.
Well, I wonder, too, do they stay for closing ceremonies? Like I
think the NHLers are gone. I think Connor's back in North America as fast as he can.
Okay. Yeah, that makes way more sense. They do have...
I originally was...
way, but like, they have athletic jobs to go back to.
Yeah. Oh. That was a close look.
I also wouldn't be surprised if Draisaitl took a couple of days off in Europe. His wife is there.
Yeah.
Celeste is there, so...
Yeah, that's a good point. At first, I was like, oh, he's first plane back because he wants to start resting. But I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if, like, again, Connor, Leon, Szymanski. I'm curious if there's any Oilers support staff there. I don't know.
Bowman's there.
Yeah, Bowman's there. Yeah. Like, they might just do, because they're going to fly straight to California, I'd presume.
I would presume as well. Yeah.
I wonder if, like, Szymanski and all them they have one plane together and go back together. Mm-hmm. Although I guess, yeah, because the NHL had a plane that went out, and like the Hockey Canada plane, like, yeah, I bet you maybe Leon's just waiting and coming back with Connor.
Maybe.
But we do not know an answer to that. All right, let's get to another one here from Tyrese. Shout out Tyrese Gorham. I don't know if Coffey will have a huge impact. I think it comes more from the guys on the ice to play better, but you never know. Some players love to get up and play for certain guys. Go Canada. Go, yes, go Canada. Go. 3:30 remaining, by the way, in this women's game.
I do
here's a look.
think the players
do you have a chance?
Might have liked playing for Coffey. I do. Yeah. There was obviously the rumors of like Stanley Cup and all that shit, and that's great. I understand all of that. But like, hey, sometimes the grass isn't always greener, and it's okay to go back to your ex.
Sure. Although I think most people would tell you if you go back to your ex, it usually doesn't last. Okay, I'll get to Brad's question here, or Brad's comment. I like Paul's return. I hope everyone is on the same page. Otherwise, it could make things worse. Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a comment from Soggy Corpse in the chat.
Okay. I don't have the chat on because I didn't want any spoilers of the game.
That's okay. I can read the chat for you.
Sure.
Just keep dropping your comments in there. Soggy says, I think it's an awful move and super disrespectful towards Knoblauch. I think is a symptom of something that the GM would need to address with ownership. Cates has a good thing. I think, Soggy, that... I do think Knoblauch had some say in this. I don't think he was like blindsided by the move by any means. But I can understand why you would think that totally.
Ty, I don't want to do you dirty. I just love, I have this angle of you for stress right here.
I just think that, again, the team wasn't playing very well.
Yeah.
The areas that were playing poorly looked to be from directly what Mark Stewart was kind of attached to. And they needed to take some responsibility away from him. And I think the easiest move to do was to bring back a coach who's familiar with everything.
Yeah.
And I understand it totally. But I also understand the problems that come with Coffey in the sense of that he is the special advisor to the owner and why that could be an obstacle. However, when it was initially announced, we all thought it could be an obstacle too, and I don't know if it ever was. You know what I mean? There was never seemed. I think if it was, I don't think Chris Knoblauch would have been given the responsibility to bring in his own coaching staff in the offseason. Do you agree? Disagree?
I agree with you. And that kind of ties in. Like, I get that this has brought up a lot of questions about like his job security and things of that nature. So my question to the Spotify viewers for tomorrow's show. So drop your comments on today's episode. Do you still think Chris Knoblauch, if you had to bet, do you still think Chris Knoblauch is the Edmonton Oilers coach a year from now? 1 calendar year from now, not the start of next season. 1 calendar year from now, do you still think Chris Knoblauch is the Edmonton Oilers head coach?
I'm usually an optimist on this stuff, but I really don't. Honestly, never mind. I was going to do a quote from a song, but I just don't think I can quote that guy anymore.
I don't even want to
Now
know.
I need to know.
Yeah, you can tell me after the show. 2:18 to go here. We are coming down. I'll do my best, Jack Michaels. Down the stretch in Milano Cortina. Canada looking for a gold.
I'll keep reading your comments as we kind
I
of
think
get
I'm
through this, too.
60-40. 60% that he still is the Oilers coach. 40% he's not. And I hate that I feel that way.
Shit.
Golly.
I told you this had overtime written all bleeping over it.
Oh, puck line.
Hillary Knight. Fuck.
God, what a couple of days for
God damn it.
West Side Shane says.
Oh, they went into a shell too early. They had that rush with 2:30 right before the TV timeout where she tried to take him on 1-on-4, went back the other way. You couldn't do that.
Does this deflect? Oh,
Yeah, it does. Oh, box her out.
Hey, this happened in 2010 to the men's.
What a
Fun.
tip.
They had a late goal.
Was it
That's
that was
OT.
3-2 final, right, in 2010?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, I think we'll see this one through until overtime. Then we'll wrap up the show. Let everyone go watch the game. We'll maybe head downstairs with the Nation crew.
They're getting crazy down there.
Yeah, are they?
Screaming.
Yeah, okay. We'll head down and watch it with them.
Okay, I'll read a couple of comments as we get through here, just based off the Knoblauch question you just gave up. Whiteside Shane said, at this rate, no. Jack and Dax, who's been very active last couple of days. Thank you, Jax. Depends. Is he still riding 4 or 5 players? It's kind of a reason why I think he could be. His days could be numbered if they don't figure things out. Knockout Panda said, I don't think he makes it past this offseason. Lance said, hard to fire a coach who just won the cup. And then
I mean, that might be the only way the answer is yes, to be fair.
if they walk through the West again, I think if they make the cup final, I think he might. So there was a thing the other day I saw on Part of My Take. And I don't watch that show very often, but I read the headlines like Rick.
Yeah.
And they were talking about NFL coaches and how long it typically takes a new head coach to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if they don't win and
Like,
keep
I
going,
think it's like 3 years or something like that, right?
They basically never do.
They basically never do. Maybe the others just get to that point.
I agree.
Where-
Could be like a Sean McDermott thing in Buffalo.
Yeah, and that's fine too. Like I think Knoblauch is. We're talking like he's gone already, but like there's only so much you can get out of guys, and it's the same with players. And we talk about how it's okay to like refresh your roster in the off seasons too. And I think that can be the same with your coaching staff. A lot of people criticize the organization for having short shelf lives on management, on head coaches, but the average in the NHL is 2.2 years for an NHL head coach. In
That's
their job.
crazy.
So the others are, I saw that after, and not to call him out, but Eddie Steele was tweeting about how maybe it's something to do with the leadership group if we're thinking about the coaching staff again. And I think it was, what's that blue hockey guy? Blue Bullet Hockey.
Okay.
Is that his name?
Blue Bullet Brad.
Yeah, Brad. Thank you. He sent him. He quoted him. He just replied to him and said, "Well, the average in the league is 2.5 years, basically."
So maybe we're too hard on the Oilers, labeling them as coach killers.
Yeah. Maybe they're not. Maybe like we do all the time. Like maybe they're just the same as everybody else.
Oh my god. Don't. No.
Oh, 9.9
All
left.
right, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. One more for our friends at Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, download the app today. Canada, USA, both 2.5 goal favorites tomorrow in the semifinals. Which one has a better shot at covering 2.5? Canada against Finland, USA against Slovakia.
Covering?
Yeah, the 2.5 goal spread because they're both the same spread.
USA for sure.
You think?
Oh, Slovakia doesn't have as many NHLers.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. The books also agree with that, by the way. That is a wrap on today's edition of the show. Go watch Overtime, Canada, USA. Get dialed into that. Tomorrow, we're back immediately following Canada's semifinal game out in Milan, Cortina. So should be a lot of fun. Should be another just great, stressful morning of watching hockey, and I can't wait. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you all tomorrow. Oil up, maple up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.